Hello there, and welcome to another video where we look at a tactical pattern. We keep on going with the pattern recognition. Hopefully you're learning a lot. I'm really enjoying these. And this one is going to be about a trap in the French defense, a queen trap. Now, this variation is called the Fort Knox because it's very solid for black. It's difficult to break down. Let's have a look. White can play knight c3 or knight d2 here. It doesn't matter because black will take on e4 and it will transpose. After takes, black will play bishop d7, and this is the so-called Fort Knox. Black will play the bishop here, get rid of it either here or here, and then play a solid structure with c6, get the pieces out, etc. However, black needs to know one thing, a very important thing, and that is that he has to play the move knight d7 here. You cannot play knight f6 because then you have to ruin your structure with pawn takes f6 after the correct move knight takes f6 check. The reason for this is the queen trap that we are covering in this video. After queen takes f6, bishop g5. It turns out that this queen is completely trapped. We have the bishop here, very nicely placed. This bishop covering the rest, the knight covering the bishop, and the e5 square covered by the pawn and the knight. So, nowhere to go for the queen. Important trap, it can arise in many openings. And I will add a little bit of a counter here. Very important to this pattern. It looks like black can actually take on f3, and if you take the queen, he will take our queen, and black is doing fine. But here is the counter. After bishop takes f3, we can play queen d2, cover the bishop, save our queen, and still we're covering all the important squares. The queen is not going anywhere. Of course, this pawn is mined because of another tactical pattern, important one. Bishop check, and we pick up the queen. This does not cover the queen because the knight is pinned to the king. So very important patterns combining there to trap the queen. So after bishop takes f3, we can play queen d2, and it's game over. Black can try to get some material, but it's simply not enough. Now this queen trap, funnily enough, you can see in the Queen's Gambit series on Netflix, where Scheibel was playing against Beth Harmon, a young Beth Harmon, and she played a rather weak opening here with black, brought her queen out too early, bishop d3, and played bishop g7, blocking the queen's escape here, and after bishop g5, she had to resign. So in this case, black sort of built the barrier herself, the bishop and the pawn, instead of the white bishop covering this square like in the original Fort Knox. So you have to be careful when you bring your queen out like this, not to get it trapped right here. And many people have fallen for this. Here is black to move, simple example. Everything in place here. Bishop covering this. I got this one time in a puzzle rush, and I very quickly found, of course, bishop g4. We cover the e4 square. We cover d5. And the bishop is covered. Everything in place. This wins. So we looked at the example from the Queen's Gambit, and this one. Here is a funny game. White played c4 here, knight c3, and unusual knight maneuver here, knight to g3, which turns out to be kind of White's undoing. He plays queen f3. The idea is to pin the pawn on c6, take the pawn on b5. And black thought, very well, you can take it. I'll play e5. We don't have a bishop here, but now the pawn on e5 is covering the important squares. The knight is in the way. White only thought about his own ideas, typical tunnel vision, thinking about only what you can do. But black had thought a little bit further and played bishop g4. So now instead of the bishop, like I said, pawn is covering, knight is in the way, but everything else is the same. bishop and knight teaming up to trap the poor queen here. Now this is most common in the Fort Knox. It can also arise through other French lines. If black plays an early knight f6, we take it. Then white can just build up with solid development moves. Doesn't even have to do anything fancy to set up a trap. Bishop d6, a bad move. Bishop d3. And yeah, if black castles or plays knight c6, I found a game in the database where black played knight c6. It's already game over. Bishop g5. And once again, everything in place. Bishop, bishop, and knight. Everything covered. The queen drops. So we looked at the Fort Knox. We looked at the looked at an example. Looked at the Queen's Gambit. Looked at the Queen's Gambit accepted, and this one. So that leaves us only with the final position I have gathered for this pattern recognition video, and it's sort of it's not exactly like our theme, and it's black to move here. I'm going to leave this as an exercise for you. It's not exactly our theme, but the knowledge of this theme enabled me to kind of reverse engineer and find what's the best move for black here. It's a tactical puzzle, black to move, and we do have a pin here, and it looks like we have two good moves, either take on f3 or take on g5. Now, which one is better and why, and where in the video did you gather the knowledge to solve it? Tell me in the comments, which one do you prefer? Queen takes g5 or bishop takes f3. So this was the Fort Knox trap. If you play this opening, remember you have to play in this position. Let's go back. Knight to d7. And the idea is now you can play knight f6 and take with the other knight. So you have to know this idea if you play this. Good to know it if you're an e4 player with white. But having said that, let's leave the puzzle up. Which move do you prefer? Again, tell me in the comments. Leave the likes once again, guys. It helps tremendously. We're trying to, get this chess knowledge to more people, and I need your help to do that. So very little effort to just, go down there, hit the thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.